Hey guys, welcome back to the Ventured Trail. I'm so happy that you're joining me again today, that we get the experience to connect and everything. So, first of all, I guess I would say that my experience with dragons started with my friend Effie, Yellow Empress on Twitter. She kind of introduced me with working with them. I've heard of other people working with them. I always was just so impressed with people that could connect with them because they just seem so powerful and just so out of my reach, which was untrue. As soon as I started working with them, I understood a lot better about the connection and how easy it is to really just reach out and ask for their help. You can also honor different deities and gods that are known for their dragons. Like Kuan Yin is known for having a pink dragon. Thor, he also had dragons as well. Those are just two examples. If you're connecting with those gods and goddesses, you're also going to be connecting with these dragon energies as well. And that's really cool. Dragons kind of work in multiple dimensions. They're multidimensional beings, just like any other elemental, and their roles change throughout the dimensions. So what I've learned through working with my Dragon Oracle deck and just reading up on dragons through that is that they work very heavily in the 4th dimension, 5th dimension, 7th and 9th dimensions. Within the 4th dimension, they work very closely with us, with humans and nature and animals, just really promoting love and just really helping us out. So 4th dimensional dragons are really good to build interpersonal connections with, to call upon, to help clear out really negative energy. You know when gravity just feels way too heavy, or you just feel like you're moving at a snail's pace? Calling on a dragon to just help burn out that sludge is just incredibly just beneficial for you. So that's a really good way to connect with the 4th dimensional dragons. The 5th dimensional dragons, they're helping us kind of move up into the golden age, into becoming a more evolved species towards love and compassion instead of fear and war. So they're kind of guiding us, they're kind of leading us. Those are good dragons to meet up with in meditation, to discover past life kind of things, or to help them kind of connect you with your higher self even, just so you can kind of act with more integrity and authenticity for what you want to be and who you want to be and what you want to become in the future as well. The 7th dimensional dragons, they work with angels. They're very angelic. They're very healing dragons. So you can call upon them again in meditation or right before sleep, or if you're feeling like you're going through a major depressive period or anxious period, bipolar episode, or just an extreme change that you're just unable to get your footing. The dragons in the 7th dimension, they are very healing and uplifting. They can really just clear out the chaos. 9th dimensional dragons, those are really cool for if you are trying to manifest something or kind of work in really high dimensions. The 9th dimension itself works with universal blueprints, cosmic codes. They create I don't want to say storylines, but they create they maintain harmony and balance throughout the world. So they kind of control what's happening, not control, but they kind of lead where things are going to get to where humanity wants to be and where the universe wants to be. So they're kind of like a detached entity in itself, so that they're way up there. But if you're trying to manifest something, they would be a good dragon to connect with, a good dimensional dragon, I guess. It's not just one dragon. A good dimensional dragon to connect with, to help them kind of set things in your path to allow you to get to the manifestation a little quicker. So that's kind of just an overview of some of the dragons. If you're building an altar for dragons, that is a little different as well. I don't actually have a dragon altar. In the last video with fairies, I showed you my other one. Also upcoming in the mermaid elemental video, I'll show you my mermaid altar as well. I kind of put it out there to work with dragons, and I didn't receive an altar, I just received dragon oracle cards. So that's how I communicate with dragons, and that's how I connect with them and honor them. If I get a pull to a certain dragon that's in this deck, then I lay it out and I give an altar to them. A lot of the times I connect with other elementals very heavily, so then I'll like introduce the dragon into my fairy altar, or the dragon into my mermaid altar, in that way as well. And as I said before, they work with different gods and goddesses, so that's another cool thing. If you have like an altar towards someone, like a deity, god, goddess, you can also kind of make that an altar towards this specific dragon that they claim as well. Some suggestions, straight from Effie again at Yellow Empress. She's on Twitter and Instagram, Yellow Empress Tarot. What she does with her altar, she leaves them like food and incense and stuff. That's another way that I really like connecting with dragons, is through incense. I don't know why, I just feel like a good connection there. But how I find that I interpreted like Effie's altar and how she set it up, and then she talked about how her mom sets up an altar as well. It was all kind of different, and so I'm finding that, like, again, it's really intuitive in what you believe like the dragons want. You kind of listen to them and listen to what you're being pulled towards. Definitely a candle of sorts or incense, something that's connected to fire, since that is their home element. If you're working with fourth dimensional dragons, you're probably going to add some natural things as well, like leaves and flowers, fruit, stuff like that. Anything else, like just like natural things, even like shells or feathers, or just anything that you're kind of feeling drawn to, that's what you can build an altar around. So working with crystals and dragons, like if you're going to do an altar, I would suggest probably a lot of like solar plexus and heart chakra crystals. That's what I get pulled towards when I'm working with dragons, is working with my solar plexus and my heart. So I work with green aventurine quite frequently when I'm working with dragons, golden healer, citrine, peach calcite, sunstone, amethyst as well when I'm like doing meditation, just because that's a really good crystal with that in general. And pyrite is a good one for when you're manifesting or you're asking for their help to achieve something a little bit faster. So those are just like some of the crystals you can work with. Again, bloodstone, that's another good one. I probably have it somewhere else, but bloodstone, that's another good one to connect with dragons with. Really heavy heart stone, very beautiful. Now, I want to do a reading for us all with my dragon oracle cards, because that is how I personally connect with dragons, and I love delivering messages using this deck. It's incredibly powerful, and because like the dragons are in different dimensions as well, it says a lot about what kind of energies we're working in as a collective, and kind of where we're functioning in the present moment, which is pretty cool. So I will do the reading, and I interpret it intuitively, but I like to check in the book, because in the table of contents it says what dimension those dragons are from, whichever dragon comes up on the card. So I just like to check in with that, just to, like I said, kind of get a feel for what dimension we're working in right now. Okay, let's do this. I love the sparkles. This is so cool. Okay. Ooh, cool. Okay. So I already know, just from these dragons that are coming up, that these are all fourth dimensional dragons. So first of all, I'm just gonna say that we need to be in the very, very present. right now. Like when it comes to whatever we're trying to achieve right now, whatever we're working on, whatever we're focused on, it's got to be in the present moment. That's going to be what answers our questions, and what kind of moves us forward is just being here now. A lot of the times when we're trying to like get going somewhere, we just reach to like meditation and to planning and to ruminating on how to prepare. But these dragons here are already saying that we just need to kind of just be, just exist, just be present and fully express yourself in the moment. So we got the air dragon first. We got the green dragon, which actually, now that I look at it, that might be a 5th dimensional dragon, so I'll have to look that up. And then we got the fire and air dragon as well. So it's like 3 elements out of 4, so that's really cool. Okay, green dragon, where are you? Yeah, green dragon's a 5th dimensional. Okay, cool. So that still kind of marks it being in the present, especially since it's the green dragon, like it's having to do with nature and the earth. And so like for the good of humanity and for the good of the collective, it's good to just like tune into what we're experiencing right now on the earth, and tuning back into like Earth's energy as well. Like when we kind of just focus on the present, we just like whatever, push away those other things, just like whatever, I'll deal with you another day. Thank you for letting me know that this is on my mind. Put you back for another day. Right now we're just focusing right in the present moment so that we can take in Mother Nature. The canals in Vienna, they've gone back to like a blue color. The swans have returned and the dolphins have returned. You see like the lack of smog and the numbers of percentages going down in pollution as well. That's something that you just need to like focus on right now and just see all the good that's happening, and understand kind of the reasoning for what is going on with all the chaos in the world right now. Air Dragon says, help you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly, bring inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. So yeah, when we're just like being in the present, that gives us so much more room for observation. It's a way to allow us to, like, by further connecting, we can further detach from our personal, like, I need to be doing this, I need to be preparing for that, like me. When you're just focused on like, am I okay right now? Yes, okay, cool. Just be. No, what can you do to help yourself right now so that you can become a little bit more balanced and restored, right? And then you can detach as well. The green dragon helps you tune into the secrets of nature, receive answers and guidance from nature, align with your divine essence. Ooh, that is so cool. I just posted on my Venture Trail a divine essence reading. Again, with like balance and duality, so divine, masculine and feminine within ourselves, because when I refer to those terms, I mean the characteristics that we have in each of us. However that expresses is very personal and very unique to each and every one of us. But when I talk about the divine feminine and masculine, it's the balance of being able to give and receive, to be able to take action and also just allow, to use logic and really material aspects to solve problems, and also just your intuition to just already know within what's going on. It's the balance of all these characteristics that are kind of opposites, but we all embody all of it. So with this green dragon, that's kind of a message as well, just finding that balance within ourselves, balancing out those polar opposites and finding that personal and individual like stance to where we find that we're truly aligned with our whole selves. Air and Fire Dragon expands your creative energies, harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm, communicate your passion. So that's again communication, just like with the Air Dragon. Communication is a huge deal collectively right now. So many people are feeling like they are disconnected from everyone, from social isolation, and like self-quarantine, working from home, just not being able to just go out and connect with people just as the same as we used to. But then we start to kind of look like, again, once we kind of get that detached view, once we're like connected in with what's going on right now, we can kind of detach and just see the whole picture and see like our part in it and see everyone else's part in it. And we're understanding why our communication is evolving in such way. And I think it's just like a nice way to see like, oh, this is why technology was such a big deal coming up, and this is why like so many people feel drawn to using technology to communicate. It kind of prepared us for this moment. It also is just kind of saying like we do need to evolve and we do need to be more prepared. So communication is very vital for our survival, and we're feeling a very big disconnect communicating through our politicians and our leaders, our people in power, and the majority of us that are just existing in this society. There's such a big disconnect with the communication there. And that starts from an individual level, because we can't control what other people do. We can only control what we do. So again, once we are connected within ourselves and we know what we're doing and how to keep ourselves healthy, we can detach and just observe the whole collective energy, what's happening with everyone, who needs help, how can someone help me, how can we restore this balance as a collective. So yeah, it's cool like when I'm doing a reading and I can just all of a sudden I see the words and I'm like, oh, and it's just like it turns into kind of a channel. And I apologize for talking really fast sometimes, because that's how I have to talk to get it all out. Otherwise I just stumble all over my words. So thank you for being patient with me, and feel free to rewind and repeat some messages if they come out a little mumbled or a little bit too fast for you to take it all in. I'm learning, and hopefully that kind of changes as I get more familiar with this process of delivering messages. So that's really cool. Yeah, so like working with dragons and working with the element of fire, it's a great way to reach your manifestations, to be able to burn out negative energies and lower vibrations, lower frequency feelings, physical symptoms as well. A great way to open up the heart chakra and the solar plexus, you know, energy levels. And yeah, what else? What else did we go over? I think that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me, leave a comment if there's anything that you feel I left out, or if you want more resources, please let me know. You can find me on social media at Venture Trail on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I am a tarot reader and an energy healer. I do Reiki infused art, and I also offer spiritual guidance on any metaphysical, spiritual, astral, astrological questions that you may have. I've gathered lots of resources. I carry a lot of wisdom with me. I'm a knowledge seeker. I just love it all. So I've gained a lot of resources, and I have a lot of tools from working within these different categories of spirituality. What can I say? I have a stellium in the 3rd house. I grab and I just absorb knowledge. And I love communicating with others. So please send me a personal message on Twitter, on Instagram, shoot me an email at venturetrail@gmail.com, or leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Thank you for tuning in. And next up, I think is gonna be mermaids. So stay tuned. I love you all.